They were not born in football academies. They were born in refugee camps. They didn't grow up dreaming about trophies. They grew up trying to survive war, and today they stand on football's biggest stage, the FIFA World Cup. When we watch the World Cup, we see goals, celebrations, and superstar players. But behind some of those smiles are stories of war, displacement, and unimaginable hardship. Stories that prove one thing: where you start in life does not decide where you finish. Today we're looking at footballers who escaped conflict, survived refugee life, and somehow made it to the World Cup. Chapter 1. Alphonso Davies. Born in a refugee camp. Imagine being born in a refugee camp. No stadiums, no training facilities, no guarantee of safety. That was the reality for Alphonso Davies. His parents fled the civil war in Liberia and found shelter in a refugee camp in Ghana. When Alphonso was just 5 years old, his family moved to Canada in search of a better future. Football became his escape. A simple game transformed his life. Years later, the little boy from a refugee camp became one of the world's fastest footballers, a Champions League winner, and captain of Canada's national team. From a refugee camp to the World Cup. Chapter 2. Our Mobile. The boy who played with a rolled-up sock. Our Mobile's story sounds almost unbelievable. Born in the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, his family had escaped violence in South Sudan. As a child, he didn't have footballs. Sometimes he played using a rolled-up sock. Eventually, his family was resettled in Australia. There, football opened doors that once seemed impossible. Years later, the refugee child from Kenya would wear Australia's jersey on the biggest stage in football. A powerful reminder that talent can come from anywhere. Chapter 3. Nestori Irankunda. From refugee camp to World Cup star, Nestori Irankunda was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania. His parents had fled conflict in Burundi. Like millions of displaced families around the world, they were searching for safety. Eventually, Australia became their new home. Years later, Nestori became one of Australia's brightest young talents. The boy who once had no permanent home was now playing in front of millions of football fans around the world. That's not just football. That's history. Chapter 4. Luka Modric. War couldn't stop him. Long before becoming a Ballon d'Or winner. Long before leading Croatia to a World Cup final. Luka Modric was a child living through war. His family was forced to flee their home during the Croatian War of Independence. His grandfather was killed. His childhood was filled with fear and uncertainty. Yet somehow, he kept playing football. Today, Luka Modric is considered one of the greatest midfielders in football history. Proof that even war cannot destroy a dream. The World Cup isn't just about football, it's about human stories. Stories of courage, stories of survival, stories of hope. For every goal we celebrate, there may be a journey we never knew about. A journey from war zones, from refugee camps, from unimaginable hardship, to football's biggest stage. And maybe that's what makes the World Cup so special. Because sometimes, the greatest victory isn't winning a trophy, it's making it there at all.